Anne.
Alex, would you like a sandwich? Sorry.
I'm all right for a sandwich. There's a lot of sandwich talk going on here, Anne.
Good morning, Anne.
Good morning. And why aren't the sandwiches coming to me?
I know. Bless you for getting up this time. I'm so appreciated.
No, it is an early start, but actually, I have come in my workout clothes because I'm going to leave here. I'm going to get on my exercise bike, which is my new.
That's it. That's the energy.
Yes.
Monday morning, 7:30 workout. That's what we love to see. Let's get it.
So, and you've arrived at such a great time because everyone's kind of waking up now. Everyone's just getting to the floor. Like we were here a few hours ago and it was just me and Jam talking at no one. It was really weird, but it was fun, right? We had some fun.
Now we had a lot.
But now we've got the energy up. I don't know if you probably caught the back end of that last conversation, which was just beautiful.
I have to say, I did hear, and I wrote it down, don't let the stressing stop your blessings. And I totally agree with that.
100%.
I've been thinking about this year, and I had some time off at Christmas, and I started to feel a little anxious about going back to work and thinking only because I thought, I'm going to get so busy and I'm going to be completely, it's going to take over my life again, and it'll get in the way of all the other things I want to do. And then actually I thought, no, it's just a choice, it's just a choice of whether I decide to feel that is stress coming at me or just an opportunity to take. And, this stressing is largely a choice. So I'm not going to let the stressing get in the way of my blessings.
Yeah.
I love that. I love how you've just
100%. And sometimes we need the stress, like it's resistance training, but like acknowledge it, see it for where it is, not feel like bigger than where it is. Just acknowledge it and don't let it stop your blessings. Just acknowledge that it can potentially.
Beautiful.
What else can I focus on?
I love that. I love it. We're just connecting every conversation. It's beautiful. So for those who don't know who Anne is, could you just give us a brief of yourself? Obviously, anyone who watched last year's will know who you are because we had a lot of time to talk about you, and that was wonderful. And actually, it was really enlightening that you shared so much. And I know you're here to talk more so around mental health and mental fitness of young people, but obviously your role in that world is a lot around that. So could you just give us a bit of a brief around you and also the work that Form the Future do?
Yeah, sure. So we've had a great year this last year. Actually, I was just looking back at our conversation last year, and really, Alex, we were only getting to know you at that point, but I set up a social enterprise called Form the Future back in 2015. And I did it because I believed that young people were going through an education system and weren't being given access to all the opportunities that were out there. They were led to believe that there was sort of one path, and that one path was to do well in their exams, go to university, and that somehow magically the perfect job would appear. And actually, I realized it was a lot more complicated than that there are lots of routes into rewarding work that don't necessarily involve university, don't even necessarily involve getting great grades at school either. That it was really important that we help young people see all the opportunities that are out there for them, whatever their passion, whatever their talent and skills. And the only way we could do that was by engaging with the community. We needed to make sure that young people were connecting with relatable role models who could share their story, and kids could take it on board, learn, discover, find out what was right for them. And this business has just grown and grown. We started with a handful of schools around Cambridge. We're now working with schools across a lot of the east of England, up to Peterborough, over to Norwich. We've worked with schools in Ipswich, and we work with hundreds of businesses and local people who want to give back to their community. People who believe, like I do, that there's a lot of opportunities out there, but you got to expose young people to it, and you got to show them the way, and you got to get involved early enough that you're going to help them feel confident and excited about their future, not stressed, not anxious, not feeling like a failure because they don't fit someone's idea of what success looks like.
Lovely. And you sit so you know my relationship with this subject, both personally through my own experience, but also kind of my own visions for what I'd like it to look like in the future. And I think that you sit perfectly in between the business community and the skills side of things and the schools. And
Yeah.
you see that through your entire team, by the way. They all embody what you stand for. And not just in Form the Future, because I've been in other conversations with you involved, and you're leading the conversation at every level. Now, bringing this to the core kind of subject, what we wanted to talk about today, I mean, what a couple of years. I mean, I've got an 18-year-old son, and I know what he's been through. And we've obviously employ a lot of young people, and we see that side of it. But what you and your team see, I don't even know what the question is. What is the state of play?
Yeah.
What questions should we be asking? Where do we even start with this subject?
Yeah. I mean, it definitely been a challenging couple of years through the pandemic. I mean, we thought it was hard before. We didn't know what was coming.
That will teach us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you think you know it bad. And just little things. And I don't want to be sort of big downer, but let's do a reality check for what it's been like for young people. A lot of young people have not been able to go off and do work experience placements. They haven't had that brilliant opportunity to dip a toe in the water and find out what the working world is like and whether it's right for them and what's right for them and learn about themselves. We used to say, or at least teachers used to say to me, that kids came back after work experience 3 inches taller. They literally held themselves, upright. They were like confident and they were feeling good. So 2 years, many students have missed that. In addition to that, we've had young people who had part-time jobs that they lost because retail and hospitality really took a beating during the pandemic. That was a great way of getting experience, but also making some money, and that's what kids want to do, don't they? They want to make some money while they're young. They've got stuff they need to buy. So that's been difficult. And then on top of that, you've had people who, the period of having to sort of not be able to go to school and see your friends, having to stay at home, sometimes with not enough space, not enough, not a place to study or learn or socialize or be yourself or do your thing, just really feeling constrained. So all of that's been tough. And schools have also been getting the brunt of all sorts of challenge from all sorts, and so they've been under pressure to make sure kids are getting through the curriculum and all that stuff. So it's just been a really tough time for young people. And what I want to make sure is that, and we have heard the statistics that more and more young people are expressing that they have mental health challenges, and we do need to help them feel more confident, more in control, I guess, about what's out there for them. And but actually recognize and give them space and allow them to talk about why they're struggling. So I think the good thing is that we are talking about this in a way that we didn't 10, 20 years ago. It is acceptable and normal to be able to say, I'm not doing great, I need some help. And whereas actually, in generations gone by, people literally did not talk about that. It was like such a stigma attached to it that they wouldn't say it. So they, of course, are not going to get the help they need if they can't ask for it. But I guess the thing that I want to what we're focusing on now, and like you say, I am really lucky to have a great team of people who also really believe in this, and partners like yourselves who really want to give young people a chance, want to and basically it's about time. It's about giving them time and attention. And it's saying, you matter to me enough that I'm going to, like you guys do, give up a day to come into a school and work on an enterprise project, or, put kids through mock interviews so that they've got that practice and that experience and that feedback in a safe place. Or come in and just sort of say, look, I'm going to tell you what it's like to be a graphic designer and, why I do it and how to get there. People who give their time to young people to do what seems like really a simple thing in many ways is actually sending a really powerful message to young people that they matter and that they count. And that sense of feeling like you matter, and that, you know, someone's going to give their time for you, that's a huge boost to someone's self-esteem. And, you know, I think that helps a bit with that mental fitness piece. Letting you, you know, obviously you don't need to have your self-esteem be dependent on other people, but just that, you know, we're all very susceptible to that feel good feeling that comes from someone kind of telling you that you matter. So yeah, that's we're gonna, you know, we obviously going to keep on having a very close eye on the challenges young people are experiencing and that they're expressing to us. Our careers advisors talk a lot about the state of the young people that they're talking to and working with. But I would also just say to anyone who's not yet involved in our work, but really believes in creating opportunities for young people to get on board and get involved. It takes, you know, all it takes is a bit of time, and it can be as little as an hour a year. So, I mean, wow, you know, that's not a big ask, is it?
No, absolutely not. And I think, look, you know, and what I'm hearing there, regardless of challenge, is actually it's what we should be doing more of, which is more of the same, which is more attention and more empathy and support towards people, which is what resolves most things in the world anyway.
Yeah.
And actually you do, and I speak from personal experience, I get so much fulfillment from those days out, and not even just that, like the people that we've met through volunteering with Form the Future, or at your jobs fair, for instance. There was the conference, the annual conference, not this year before. Off the back of that, we met a lot of other people in business as well. So it's not just, but because there's a common purpose around, because people care about these young people. We were all young once. There's a great comment in here from Luke Newman. Grassroots for children is so important. There's so many aspects of their lives. It's their roots to grow into a beautiful blossoming tree. Beautiful, I love that.
Thanks.
So that's exciting, right, Jan? What are you saying about that? What do you think about that?
No, I feel like the work that you're doing is so important. Having like actually worked in the education system for the last year.
I was going to say, because Jam, so this, I don't know if you've met. You will meet. You'll meet at some point. But Jam has come from well, Jam,
very corporate background.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain without taking a lot of time, but grew up in a, you know, had like a disadvantaged background, essentially. Lost my parents at a young age. Didn't really feel like school was for me. I hated school. Hated everything about it. But teachers kind of forced me there and kicked out all my friends. But they forced me there because I was good at exams, and I hated it. So it's just like, okay, what do I want to do? For me, I just wanted to make money. So yeah, like luckily I found just people and charities and just tools in my life that just kind of led me down a pathway where I was like, forget university, forget a traditional route. Like I just want to work.
But it was the people.
So
it was the people and charities.
Yeah, like
it was the people and charities.
And essentially, all they did was increase my social mobility. That's all they did. Was just like get me out of Ilford. That's all they needed to do, was put me on a 15-minute like journey to Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
To like open my eyes. Like that's all they need to. I live in East London. I can see it from my council estate. Like I go up on the lift to my flat every single day, and I see Canary Wharf. Like thousands of people work, like the financial engine for the whole world.
Yeah.
I see that place, and it's like so far away. I see it, but in my mind, it's so far away in terms of like me being there. So like all they did was increase my social mobility, just help me see what was possible, and just like help me up, like, you know. And when I was applying for jobs, like I'd like lost my parents and like just like grew up in a different, you know, like just not a nice kind of like just a lot of trauma basically. Like getting told no in an interview was not the end of the world for me. It was like, okay, you told me no. Why did you tell me no? Like what? Like seriously, like that was
Good.
it. It was just like, why did you tell me no? Okay.
Yeah, and that's
So
the
you-
important question.
So you
isn't
told me
it?
no because of X, Y, and Z. Okay, next interview, let's go.
Yeah.
They're not gonna tell me no for that same
where
reason.
do you learn that if you don't learn it from? Because if you can't get it from home, then that's places.
Yeah.
That's why those mocking.
That's why Form the Future will be like, they'll be able to put that into context for a young person to understand. Like the young person doesn't have to go through trauma in life to understand that and knowing a job interview is not there. Just get the feedback. It's your first time. The same way I'm a footballer. The first time I ever kicked the ball, I was terrible. But now I can do 100 kick-ups because I've practiced every day. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like interview. By the time I got to my 30th interview, I promise you I did 30 interviews. By the time I got to my 30th interview, there was no way they was going to tell me no. I got 29 no's.
Yeah.
The
And
30th
each
interview,
no
I
is
got a
like-
yes.
Yeah. You
And
learn
that
from
yes
each one, right?
was
Yeah.
a scholarship to Barclays Bank, paid for my degree, 3 years work experience, youngest bank manager in the country, running Hatton Garden branch, and then realizing like this is not what I want to do.
Yeah.
Like doing mortgages, everything, and then making a ridiculous amount of money, not ridiculous, but for my age group at uni, making like money, being responsible for a team. Like it was a game to me. It was like, what I come from? Is this easy? Like what scam have I been living? Like what is the scam? Because I did.
Well, it's you
Like,
said
this-
it,
this-
and Anne's alluded to it.
because it's
access.
easy. Like in school, they make it seem like it's so hard, and it's not.
Yeah.
Because it's like it really isn't, and I feel like everybody in my course found it so difficult, and I didn't because at the end of the day, it was simple to me. Like I'm in a branch, I deal with customers, I deal with people. Like that's it. That's legit it. Like the worst that can happen in my life is that I had a great opportunity. I got to work for a bank. I get to wear this uniform every day. Like not a lot of people 18, 19 that have been through care system that get to even go to university. My population, 5% of us get to go to university. Less like the amount of us that finish our first year, you'd be shocked. It's less than 1%. Come on, like it's not like so for me, it's like I've made it. So like the worst that can happen is like, I just go back to the block. But even then I've got skills, I've got experience. Do you see what I'm saying? Like it's experience that nobody else has, and I'll figure out what I'm gonna do with that. So yeah, I did that for 6-7 years and then I left and I was like, yeah, I can't do this. And then pandemic happened and I had the option to go back. I got CMAP, I'm qualified financial advisor, can sell mortgages. All I need to do is get a license. But I don't want to do that. So I just thought, what can I do? Let me go work in a school.
This is where Anne.
And then my time in the school was up because it was just getting scary for me. It was like, I can't do, it's too much red tape. I can't be myself. You guys are going to fire me. So let me just leave because I'll really tell you about yourselves,
So Anne, and just hearing that so Jam is in a place where Jam is now because I personally think because of the people around you and the people that have inspired you and supported you on the way.
100% people that continue to inspire me. It's not like, oh, like you inspired me and I move on. Like I just constantly see that in my life. Like, bro, like me and you known each other, a year now? And like you're one of my biggest inspirations, like technically like in a circle, like in my eyes. So it's just like, just constantly having that and just knowing that it's just, continuous and consistent and just, when one door closes, another one opens and just constantly just not seeing things as a loss and just the opportunity in everything. And one thing I'm going to continue to say today is I get to be here. Not that I have to do this, like I get to do this with you, like and be live and, have these conversations.
Yeah. I think there's so much.
I've been meaning to connect with you. Like Alex talks about Form the Future all the time. Like he's like, I've just had a meeting with Form the Future.
More.
Like we want to connect, like Ignite program, like Catbud program. Like let's. So like the connection was due to happen. Like I was meant to be sleeping now, but I'm up. It was
So was Anne. Anne was meant to be sleeping too.
And this was meant to be. So now it's what? In 9 minutes time, you're gonna be on your bike reflecting about this. You're gonna see a DM in your inbox afterwards, and then the connections. We're just gonna fly from there. Let's go.
Oh, for sure. Actually, there's so much more, and I think Alex, you're right. It's all about the people around you who like give you energy and inspiration. I do that terrible thing of sometimes separating people into what they call the drains and the radiators. There are the people who give us energy and the people who sort of take it from us. And you can't help it. Some people can't help it. They're going to be a drain just because they're often, asking tough questions or whatever. They need information in a way that I don't necessarily want to give it to them, and it's usually important. But you got to then surround yourself with the people who energize you, who make you believe in yourself and your mission. And, Alex, you from me are one of them for sure. And, you just need to get as much of that in your world as you can and make space for it. And I think, we go back to young people, we need to make sure there are enough sort of radiators around there who are, reflecting back at young people, their brilliance. It may not have been recognized yet, but it's in there, and it's, we need to help them feel it and discover it for themselves. I do think all these things are an inside job. It's like someone said the other day, I was listening to a podcast and I can't remember which one it was, but they were saying, doesn't matter how many times people sort of tell me whether I'm doing a good job. The important thing is that I feel it, that I feel I'm doing a good job. I'm doing the work I want to be doing right now. And as long as I can hold on to that, as long as I've got that, then I'm good. I'm all set. And I want to help more people get to that place where they feel like, yeah, I'm good. I'm doing the work I want to be doing. And, your story, Jem, about, getting to be this youngest bank manager is fantastic. But then at the same time, you recognize
it's depressing because I'm going to these schools and I'm speaking to these young people. The first couple of weeks, they're like, wow, after a year or two of doing that, it's like, but has nothing changed? Like, seriously, like this is it doesn't sit right with me. I'm not comfortable with this, that these young people that look like me are still surprised that somebody that looks like me can be doing a job that I'm doing. Like we're in 2019, we're in 2018, like fix up.
Yeah, no,
like, it goes from getting me gassed to getting me angry.
No, we got to do more. There's a lot more work to be done. Anyone who thinks that this whole area is sorted is wrong. And actually, sometimes I do think, oh my God, we're going back over in circles again. We're still talking about the same stuff. But actually, maybe it's just because some of these problems are hard and they're going to take a few years and a few go round to get it right. But you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, we have to bit of disruption along the way. We'll soon sort it out.
Yeah.
So, Anne, just thinking about the future. So, I've been trying to get. I want to talk about something that you're excited about, because I read your impact reports. I love the impact reports that you send out at the end of the year. I wait for them, and this year's one especially was just phenomenal. What you've managed to achieve amongst all this madness. What do you think will be your favorite highlight on this year's impact report?
Gosh, that's a really good question. We have a lot of discussions going on with different people who could be potential partners to do more work together. A large part of what I have to do is going out there and getting the funding to sort of pay salaries and everything else. So always trying to make sure that we are lining up, enough funding to be able to do the work we need to do. And there's a few things coming up that could be really good, really big, and really exciting in terms of expanding our reach and impact. I can't say much more about them yet because they're very much work in progress. But the other thing is we've got one of my team is really having a look at our online offering. One of the things that the pandemic has taught us is that we can do a lot more stuff online, but we got to really work hard to make it effective. And you can't just put something on the internet and think, oh, that's job done. We've got to do it in a way that's going to connect with our audience, with young people. We want to work with young people to get our digital products right, so that actually we're giving them something that's really useful to them. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us on that. But, the other thing is, some of our business corporate partners are talking to us about, can we work with you in other countries? So we actually have a call. I know, we have a call at 9:00 today with someone in Singapore who wants to know, how do we get Form the Future to Singapore? So who knows? You know, that's we're just going to
Whoa.
I mean, you might be getting on a
Wow,
flight to
wow.
Singapore. Let's go.
Let's do this.
So who knows what, literally, I mean, I do have a bit of a plan, but I'm kind of open to sort of new opportunities and see what's coming.
I think you're speaking as a business that does choose who we engage with, and we choose to engage with Form the Future, and we try to promote that within our Shifties community as well. Your agility towards the future is exactly why we do that, because it's your openness to conversations like that. There's actually a great comment in here that kind of sums up. So Matt Setchell, who's one of our community members, business owner, is just saying, thankfully, there's people like you guys. The school system is still teaching the same way it did when he left school 25 years ago. And I know that those days that you spend there, and the work the wraparound support that you offer, it's so fundamental. So if you're not already engaged with Form the Future, please do. We've got loads of enterprise days we're running with them this year. I think the next one's mid-February. I know they've got mock the interview stuff going on. Like, what's the best way to get in touch? Just head to the website?
Head to the website, go to the section around volunteering. There's a place you can register if you haven't already, or just look at the diary of events coming up. Just pick one that might work for you, pick more, and then, sign up, and David will be in touch, and you will follow up to make sure you've got everything you need to get involved. A lot of the stuff you can do from your desk, like I am doing this morning. You don't need to go into the school necessarily. We can do some of the stuff online, but we also do have events in schools, and we really love it when people are there. It makes a world of difference to be there in person too. So do get involved.
Legends, absolute legends. I don't use that lightly, Anne. You are an absolute legend.
Thank you, Anne.
Give us one before you go. Give us one thing that you personally are excited for in 2022.
Oh gosh, I mean, continuing to get on my bike and just look after my own. This is the year I'm really going to get fit. I was begging my husband for this bike for 2 years.
Did you get a Peloton bike?
Well, it's I got the poor man's Peloton. So it's called, it's called an Echelon.
No, but they're still expensive. That's
They are. Seriously. And it's so expensive that that if I don't get on this bike, every day, or not quite every day enough, I will get grief. So I'm definitely using it. So
accountability right there.
Yeah, exactly. Total accountability. So, and I love it. Actually, it's really good for me.
Actually, before you go, Anne, we've had the color on of the Shifties green because of me, and we forgot to ask the other guests, clearly because of the lack of sleep.
Yeah.
What color would you like us to change the Shifty sign to?
Oh God, I mean, green is good.
Green is good, but I mean, we got different
shades of red, green, blue,
pink, yellow.
I mean, I have to say, I always like pink. I've got this I love a really
pink. It is.
Yeah, we're going pink.
We're going pink.
It's pink for you. Happened. I'm not sure if you guys can see it on the stream, but it's pink.
Just in time because I can see Rachel in the wings wearing pink.
Wearing pink.
Brilliant. Right. Anne, thank you so much. Enjoy your bike rides.
Thank you.
Good morning. Has Matthew been with us all night?
What?
Wasn't Matthew here at midnight?
Yeah, he's hardcore.
Wow. Hardcore. Let's go.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Anne, for everything you do. Have a great day.
Have a great workout.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.